Welcome to episode 3 of the Fallen Phoenix Deep Dive. Today, we're covering chapters 7 through 9 of Book 1. Escape routes, tangled emotions, and an encounter with a mysterious relic shape this next stretch of the journey. Calum and Lyra are ready, so join them as they peel back the layers of tension, thorns, and the threads of fate beginning to twist.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. It's great to have you back with us. Today we're jumping into a really pivotal section of Fallen Phoenix, chapter 7 through 9. If you were with us last time, you remember, Felix just pulled off this absolutely mind-blowing escape from the tower, right out of the security pod. And kind of surprisingly, Anastasia, who saw the whole transformation, she just bolted with him, left everything behind.
Exactly. That's our starting point. So this deep dive, we're going to track that escape, see where they actually end up. We'll properly meet a character who's super important in Phoenix's life, and we'll dig into the dynamics, the feelings bubbling up between Phoenix, Anastasia, and this new person. There are some key emotional moments, some funny bits, some definitely tense scenes in these chapters, and then right when you think things might be settling down, boom, we pivot back to the tower. We see the fallout, how the hunt for Phoenix changes, and there's a new player involved. So we're pulling out all the key details, the descriptions, the dialogue, the character moments from the text to really show you how things evolve from here.
Okay, yeah, let's get into it. Chapter 7. In one way, out another. It picks up right in the middle of the chaos, doesn't it? Phoenix and Anastasia, they're not exactly taking the scenic route out.
No, definitely not. They're running through these abandoned tunnels. You can practically hear the alarms blaring behind them. There's this immediate sense of urgency of being chased. And for Anastasia, you really feel her world's just been turned upside down.
But Phoenix, he seems almost weirdly calm about the whole thing.
That contrast is, one of the first big things the source highlights. It tells you so much. Anastasia is in total turmoil. I mean, she's literally walking away from her entire life, everything she was raised to believe in the tower. The text even gives us that line from her. It's not like I turned my back on everything I was ever taught growing up every day. Yeah. You can just feel how lost and disoriented she must be.
Yeah, it's a huge moment for her. Every step is into the complete unknown.
Right. And meanwhile, Phoenix is just running. No obvious panic, no stress about the alarms or, Agent Frank breathing down their necks. It makes you wonder, is it confidence? Has he done this kind of thing before? Or does he just perceive danger differently? It really sets the stage for his kind of reality.
And right in the middle of this high-stakes escape, we get this completely unexpected bit of humor. Anastasia asks how he even got caught.
You're expecting some epic story.
You really are, like some master plan gone wrong.
Yeah.
But Phoenix just hits her with the absolute truth, and it's kind of perfect. He says, apparently totally deadpan, he was caught by dumb luck. I sneezed as I was passing Agent Frank.
The sneeze.
The sneeze. I mean, the sheer randomness, the bathos of it after all the drama, it's brilliant.
Anastasia's reaction is just golden, too. The source says she just stops dead in her tracks.
Yeah, completely floored. Her line is great. A sneeze caused all of this. I don't believe it. You could just picture her throwing her hands up in disbelief. All her ideas about how this world works just shattered by a chew. It's funny. But the danger is still right there, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. The humor is immediately undercut. While she's frozen there, processing the sneeze, this red beam, like a laser sight or something, hits the exact spot she was just standing. It snaps you right back. They are still being actively hunted.
And Phoenix reacts instantly.
No hesitation. Scoops her up and delivers that classic line, "That was a bit too close for comfort." It shows his relaxed attitude isn't carelessness. He's got incredibly sharp reflexes. That tiny, almost embarrassing sneeze set off this massive chain reaction. It's a great little detail.
So they keep running, narrowly avoid getting zapped,
Right.
And then Phoenix decides it's time for a change of scenery. He uses a Mechron portal. What does that even look like?
It sounds completely wild. The source describes the tunnel literally fracturing, like breaking apart visually. Colors are shifting, swirling all wrong. The whole world seems to stretch and distort around them. It's meant to be really disorienting, a visual representation of his, otherworldly power.
And Anastasia is understandably freaking out.
Completely. I mean, she's gone from escape tunnel to reality ripping apart. The text says she grabs onto Phoenix tighter, yelling, "What in the hell is going on?" Pure terror.
And Phoenix's explanation. Classic Phoenix.
Yeah, super brief, super mysterious. Too much to explain. Just know that it deals with quantum mechanics, which is clever, right? It gives it a sort of sci-fi grounding without getting bogged down in technobabble. It just is. It's how he does things. Keeps him enigmatic. And then, just like that, snap. They're back in normal reality. But outside.
Outside and staring up at this massive building. A huge high-rise.
Totally different vibe from the tunnels. It looks like it goes right up into the clouds. Anastasia even says it looks like it touches the sky. It signals they've arrived somewhere different. Somewhere potentially safe. Phoenix's territory.
And how do they get to the top? Not the elevator, I'm guessing?
Definitely not. Phoenix just unfolds these enormous wings, described as large, majestic wings, and flies them straight up the side of the building. The text says he does it with carefree ease. Just another day for him, I guess. Up they go, right to a balcony on the penthouse level. It's another moment showing his power is just part of his normal life.
And waiting for them on that balcony is Rachael. This is her proper introduction, isn't it?
It is. We finally meet her properly, described as a normal-sized woman with long auburn hair. And their first exchange tells you everything about their relationship. He asks, "Couldn't sleep, Rachael?"
And her answer shows she was waiting up, worried.
Exactly. "No, I couldn't. I was up all night worrying. About you. You said you'd only be gone for an hour or two." So right away, you know she's deeply involved, knows about his dangerous life, and cares a lot about his safety. She's like his anchor, maybe, grounding him.
But then she sees Anastasia. And the vibe shifts.
Instantly. The source mentions her clearing her throat, giving Anastasia this really appraising, stern look. And when Phoenix mentions complications, Rachel's response is dripping with something. I bet they did. It's subtle, but you can feel the protectiveness, maybe a hint of jealousy.
And Anastasia feels it too.
Oh, yeah. She blushes, loosens her grip on Phoenix, and actually steps behind him a bit, trying to hide from what the text calls Rachel's threatening look. It's not like Rachel's shouting or anything. It's all in the look, the tone. But Anastasia picks up on that undercurrent right away. It's a very real human moment of tension.
The next beat involves Phoenix being injured, which he didn't even realize.
Yeah, it's another fascinating character moment. Rachel spots blood on his arm.
Yeah.
Is that blood on your arm?
Mm-hmm.
And Phoenix is described as being dumbfounded. He literally says, "I haven't the faintest idea how or when that happened."
Wow, so he can fly up buildings and use quantum portals, but doesn't notice he's bleeding.
Kind of highlights that disconnect, right? Between his immense power and maybe his physical self-awareness. Or maybe he was just so focused during the escape, it makes him feel more vulnerable somehow.
And Rachael just jumps into action.
Immediately, grabs his arm, pulls him inside to fix it. It reinforces that role she plays, the worrier, the caretaker. We find out the wound is from some kind of bug, probably tech from the tower, that exploded during the portal jump. And the key thing is, it's not healing because he's missing a feather.
Ah, the feather, which Anastasia just happens to have.
Exactly. The one he lost back in chapter 5 in her room during that first transformation. It connects everything. She realizes this and hesitantly offers, "I can help there."
How does Rachael take that? Still suspicious.
A little bit. The text says Rachael looks at her with doubt on her face, but, needs must. She snatches the feather pretty quickly. Then we get this description of the healing process, putting the feather in a bottle with liquid, shaking it up, making Phoenix drink it. It's another glimpse into his unique biology or magic.
And Phoenix's reaction to the medicine provides a bit of comic relief.
Oh, definitely. He apparently looks disgusted, squints, sticks his tongue out like a kid, immediately asks for something to wash the taste away. It's so relatable. After all the power displays, he hates bad-tasting medicine. Rachael even calls him out. Really, you can be so childish at times, Phoenix.
It really does humanize him.
It totally does. And
Yeah.
then comes the lollipop detail.
Right. She offers him one.
Yeah, cherry or lime. He picks cherry, big grin on his face. It's such a small thing, but it speaks volumes about their relationship. That easy familiarity, her indulging his childish side, his comfort with her. It paints this picture of their domestic life layered right on top of all the danger and the new tension with Anastasia.
And that tension comes right back to the forefront with the whole "where does everyone sleep" situation.
Oh, this scene is great. Pure comedic tension. Phoenix, lollipop still in his mouth, suggests Anastasia take his bed and he'll sleep on the sofa. Seems generous, right?
But Rachael doesn't see it that way.
Not at all. Her reaction is physical. While she's finishing his bandage, she pulls it really tight. Phoenix yelps, "Ow!" Careful! It's totally passive-aggressive, a way to vent her jealousy without yelling. Then she mutters, loud enough to be heard, "She can sleep outside for all I care."
And Phoenix just plays with it. He doesn't shut it down.
Nope. He seems to find it amusing. He taps her on the forehead with the lollipop. The source even gives us the sound, "Rachael." Then he lays down the law, but playfully. "Behave, I'll sleep on the sofa, she'll sleep in my bed, and that's final." He's managing the situation, but also clearly enjoys getting a rise out of Rachael.
He keeps poking the bear, too, talking about clothes for Anastasia.
He really does. Suggests maybe she could wear Rachel's clothes or one of his shirts. You can just see Rachel simmering. The text describes her biting her lip, then her tongue she's physically trying to hold back. He's definitely winding her up.
Until he lands on making pajamas.
Yeah, that's the tipping point. When he decides he'll actually create flannel pajamas for Anastasia, solidifying her presence, Rachael just slugs him in the arm. Not hard, probably, but it's that final release of frustration. All those little physical cues, the bandage, the lip biting, the slug, show us exactly how Rachael feels without her needing a big speech. It sets up this really complex, emotionally charged atmosphere for Anastasia's first night.
It's clear Rachael cares deeply, even if it's one-sided romantically, and she's accepted that. But this is still pushing her buttons.
Absolutely. Acceptance doesn't mean the feelings just disappear, especially when someone new shows up in Phoenix's very private world.
Okay, so Chapter 7 ends with this tense triangle settling in for the night. Chapter 8, Little Black Orb, picks up there.
It does. Starts by showing Phoenix followed through. He made the flannel pajamas for Anastasia, described as making it look simple, which again hints at his casual power. Then we see Phoenix sleep on the sofa, presumably exhausted. But Rachael is pacing in her room. Still restless, still processing.
And Anastasia, she's not sleeping either.
Nope. She's awake in Phoenix's bed, just replaying the whole insane day in her head. The escape, the portal, Rachel's tension, the weird healing. Just trying to make sense of it all. The room itself sounds interesting. Too spacious, fireplace, paintings of the sky and flying, which feels very Phoenix. And a cabinet full of swords. Adds another layer of mystery.
Her restlessness leads to an accident.
Pretty much. She can't sleep, gets curious about her surroundings. She bumps in the nightstand, hears something roll inside the drawer. Curiosity gets the cat, you know. She opens it.
And finds something weird. Not just tissues in a book.
Definitely not. A pen and this small black glass ball, like a marble. But the inside is described as swirling like a liquid but didn't appear to be. Right away, you know this isn't just a toy.
And she picks it up.
Yeah, holds it up to the light to get a better look. Innocent enough action, right? But it slips. Falls, shatters on the floor, and that's when things go sideways. Fast.
What happens when it breaks?
Instant chaos. A large black metal vine erupted from the broken orb. Metallic, thorny vines just start growing explosively, climbing over everything. It's described as forming a massive rosebud, which is a weirdly beautiful image for something so dangerous, a sudden, violent burst of uncontrolled magic.
Anastasia must have been terrified.
Stunned first, then she screams. A real scream of terror, which luckily alerts Phoenix. The text says he bolted into the room just as the vines were making their way to the bed. Talk about close calls. She was seconds away from being engulfed.
And Rachael hears the scream too.
Yeah, she appears right behind Phoenix. What in the hell is going on in here? What happened? Still concerned, despite the earlier tension, Phoenix manages to stop the transformation just in time. He cuts off the magic before it completely takes over.
And his reaction to Anastasia after this is different. Not teasing anymore.
Completely different. The danger, her obvious fear, it shifts him into protective mode. He calms her down, picks her up gently, tucks her back into bed. It's pure empathy. Shows his care for her isn't romantic, but it's definitely real and protective. But the whole incident hammers home a crucial point. Phoenix's home, his safe place, is full of potential dangers for someone like Anastasia. Her simple curiosity unleashed chaos. She's really out of her depth in his world.
Okay, so after that magical near disaster, Chapter 9, Bubblegum, takes us somewhere completely different. Back to the tower.
Total shift in perspective. We leave the Pence quiet at the penthouse and jump right back into Agent Frank's world. And he's not having a good day.
How's he taking Phoenix's escape?
Not as badly as you'd expect. The source describes him absolutely raging, roaring. How in hell did he manage to get out of here? He's breaking things, throwing a cyber warrior's head, about to kick another one. Just pure, uncontrolled fury. His plan failed, his ego is bruised, and he's losing it. Shows his instability.
And then someone from the top shows up. The Elder Council gets involved.
Yep, an elder appears. His voice is described as low and soft. but it shakes the glass of the observation room. That's power. It shows how seriously they're taking this escape. The council itself is intervening. He's there to deliver a message and an introduction.
Ah, this is where we meet Frank's new partner.
Exactly, Sarah Remlick. And her entrance is just perfect contrast. She's taking out her gum, sticks her hand out to Frank, all brightly. Hi, partner, I'm Sarah Remlick. Completely casual, almost cheerful, in the middle of Frank's meltdown.
How does Frank react to Sarah?
Not well. He's furious. Looks down on her, asks the elder, "You gave me a new breed as a partner." So there's prejudice there. He thinks she's beneath him, maybe younger, or just a different type he doesn't respect. Sees it as a punishment for his failure.
And the elder basically tells them to get along.
Pretty much. You two play nice now. Acknowledging the potential for friction right from the start, setting up this uneasy alliance.
This whole scene, even though it's short, feels like a big deal. The hunt is changing.
Absolutely. Frank storms off, Sarah follows. But it's clear the tower isn't giving up. They're regrouping, maybe getting smarter. And bringing Sarah in is huge because remember back in chapter 5, she was mentioned as Anastasia's friend.
Oh, right. I forgot about that connection.
So now someone Anastasia knew, maybe trusted, from her old life is partnered with the guy hunting Phoenix, and by extension, hunting her. That raises the stakes massively for Anastasia. Her past is literally coming after her.
And Sarah seems so different from Frank. Calm, professional maybe, compared to his rage.
Totally different vibe. Frank is all brute force and anger. Sarah seems collected, maybe more strategic, or maybe just good at hiding things. It sets up this really interesting dynamic within the hunting team itself. Potential conflict there too.
So, recapping these 3 chapters.
Wow.
We went from a desperate escape, dodging laser beams after a sneeze,
Through a reality-bending portal.
to landing in this fancy penthouse, meeting Rachael, dealing with unexpected injuries and lollipop diplomacy,
Followed by accidentally unleashing terrifying magic vines from a marble.
and ending with Agent Frank having a meltdown and getting paired with Anastasia's old friend to hunt them down. A lot happened.
A huge amount. We've
Right.
seen Anastasia get pulled so deep into Phoenix's world, facing dangers from outside and inside his home now. Plus that internal struggle about leaving the tower. Phoenix has shown more sides too. The escape artist, the vulnerable guy needing a bandage, the empathetic protector, and the slightly manipulative teaser with Rachael?
And Rachael is firmly established now. She's the anchor, the caretaker.
Definitely. Deeply caring, protective, dealing with her own complicated feelings about Phoenix and now Anastasia. Her reactions, those subtle jealousies, feel very real. She grounds the story in a way.
Well, on the other side, the hunt is definitely not over. It's ramping up.
Yeah, Frank's rage shows the stakes, but pairing him with Sarah, that's a strategic move by the tower. It makes the hunt personal for Anastasia now. It's wild how that one little sneeze kicked off this whole cascade, changing everything for everyone.
For sure. The lines are getting really blurry, aren't they? Hunter, hunted, safety, danger, even friend and foe. It's all getting mixed up, especially for Anastasia.
This deep dive really covered a crucial turning point. Anastasia is all in Phoenix's world now, a world that's protective, but also, as the orb showed, dangerously unpredictable for her. And the forces chasing them just got more complicated, more personal, with Sarah joining Frank.
Think about that orb incident again. Just simple curiosity, right?
Yeah.
But in Phoenix's home, it nearly got her killed. So how much of the danger she's in now is just being near Phoenix and his stuff, his environment? And how much might be something about her is being in his world waking something up in her? And now, with Sarah, her friend, working with Frank, what does that mean for Anastasia? Where do her loyalties lie? How does she even survive this? Lots to think about as we move forward.
This concludes Episode 3 of the Fallen Phoenix Deep Dive. Thorned relics, jealous tension, and shadows at the tower, our myth continues to unfold. Come back next time as the flames grow higher.